Assessment and Illuminate. Common Core state standards are a roadmap that ensures students receive the required skills to succeed in post-secondary education in a work environment after school. It also offers a consistency between states for expectations of student outcomes. Uh, the assessment side, it determines if progress is being made in the classroom. If the progress is being made, then they know students are learning. If there's not progress being made, then the teachers and administrators can change. Multi-tier system of support. This is multiple levels of instruction and behavior support to help those students who do struggle. These are not dependent on if a student has a disability. And some common approaches are universal screening, multi-tiered instruction models, and progress monitoring. Progress reporting is to check and see if the students are making improvements throughout the year. This is done around the same time as report cards, so about 2 to 4 times a year. There's 5 steps. Depending on the skills being assessed, teachers need to pick an appropriate measurement materials, then decide if the materials are reliable or valid. Give the test and score it, but make sure you give immediate feedback so the students can also compare and track their progress. Use data from the assessment to create a new goal and to judge if the teaching instruction is effective. The picture shown is showing one way to progress monitor over a few months. A norm reference test. It measures the students against similar peers in a population, so students are the same age and are in the same grade level. It determines if the students are at, below, or above the average range. The Wechsler Fundamental Academic Skills Test. It only tests students in a certain subject, so reading, spelling, math, and writing. It's for kindergartners to 12th graders. The process is you give the test, you count the number of right answers, and then those number of right answers connects to the grade level equivalent. Accommodations and modifications. These are for students who have an IEP or a 504 plan. Assessment accommodations. This changes the test or the testing environment to make it more successful to the student. There's areas to consider: the way the test is being presented, how students are going to respond to it, how long the student gets to take the test, and the setting and environment. So where is the student taking the test at? When determining these, you must document them. You must involve the student in making these decisions. You need to collect some data to see if they're working, and the planning time. Grading adaptations. In the classroom, there are rubrics, logs of activities, portfolios, written or verbal comments, and it's easier to progress more often, and it also doesn't give a parent a surprise when the report card comes. These are for all students, but if you do have a student who is receiving special services, never mention it. The individual grading adaptation is for students with an IEP. It modifies curricular expectations and if they're already using accommodations. There's 2 types. You can change the grading elements, or you can change the value of grading elements. The changing of grading elements is what is included in earning a grade, so an outlined rubric, and changing the value of graded elements, which may be based part on the grade of improvement from last year. Personal curriculum. This modifies the Michigan Merit Curriculum requirements, which are based on the learning needs of a student. It also changes the way a student meets the end goal, which is getting their high school diploma. Modifications need to be seen as will it prepare the student for life after high school. These are developed with the EDP and the IEP. Modifications must help the student with a path outlined in the EDP. With this, you are still able to apply to a 4-year university along with 2-year in trade schools. The MMC is there to present students with skills and knowledge for life after high school. It lists out how many credits in each subject area we are needed to get in order to graduate. You do get a high school diploma, and in April, all juniors will be taking the MME and SAT. Illuminate. This is a data warehouse. It includes lesson videos and help documents. These are for help, assistance, with anything you might need. It's a quick and easy place to store student information, such as their demographics, profiles, grades, their alerts, and you can upload testing quizzes. In relation to progress reporting, it's quick access to show the growth of a student throughout a specific time period. Progress monitoring and reporting with an IEP. Included in the IEP is how often the teacher is to report the progress of the student to their parent or guardian. Most try to do this as often as report cards go out, so 2 to 4 times a year. And it uses benchmark data from the IEP to determine if the student is making growth to their annual goal. The growth is checked 4 times a year, and that is checked against their benchmark goal in the IEP. Accommodations and modifications are important because they are there to help students do their best on assessments, and then the teachers can get an accurate read of their understanding. Assessments are important because they show what the student is understanding or not understanding. Once they are assessed, teachers need to progress monitor because it helps keep a continual record of the progress being made throughout the year and over time. And it also gives the parents an idea of how their student is doing in school more times throughout the year.